is from the Baton Rouge region. So I want to give a little extra shout out to our Baton Rouge region partners for supporting what we're doing for Louisiana artists. Those awesome partners are Cecil Graves, State Farm, Manship Theater, Sugarfield Spirits, and Shelley Simmons, Realtor, Trainer, and Consultant. Only a few partner spots left in the Baton Rouge region, but if you would like to become a partner in that region or any region, shoot us an email at louisianacountrymusic@gmail.com. Of course, all of our Louisiana Country Music Live interviews are brought to you by our friends at Explore Louisiana. Lieutenant Governor Nungesser and his team do an amazing job promoting our great state, and we're proud to partner with them to provide more awareness and opportunities for Louisiana country music artists. In saying all of that, tonight's guest is a guy who has helped carry the sound of traditional country across Louisiana and beyond for over a decade as the frontman for Parish County Line, one of the most recognizable country bands in our region. What started back in 2012 as a simple idea between two buddies to bring 90s country back to South Louisiana has grown into a powerhouse country band with a loyal following, original music, major festival appearances, and stages shared with some of the biggest names in country music. Parish County Line has built their reputation through hard work, great live shows, and a set list that keeps traditional country alive. I'm excited to have my longtime buddy on the show tonight. Y'all help me welcome Mr. Derek Shipley. What's up, dude?
How we doing, man? You all right?
Good. How are you, bro?
I'm good, buddy. How about you?
I'm doing great, man. Doing great. Trying to work this thing behind the scenes. Now I got you lined up. Appreciate you joining us tonight, dude. I hadn't seen you.
Oh, man, thanks for having us. I know it's been a long time coming. I'm glad I finally got to do it.
You look like you're in your little golf room.
Man, I've been practicing my swing, to be honest with you. I practice a lot. It don't help, but I practice a lot.
we got Dylan Wayne on here. We got Karen, who's on here every week. We got Kendall Schaefer on here. So
what's up, guys?
Man, a lot of our mutual friends tell me that you're obsessed with golf these days.
Oh, man, I've been playing a lot, Ronnie, to be honest with you. I fell in love with the game a long time ago, and then within the past 2 or 3 years, I just kind of fell in love with it a little more. So I've been playing a lot, man. I got the opportunity. I've been playing a lot.
Nothing wrong with that at all, man. Jenny Ritchie says, "Hey, Ronnie," and "Hey, Derek." Melissa's on there. Look at there. I thought she's supposed to be working. She's on here. Man,
get to work.
Speaking of, man, before we dive into music and everything, man, let's take a minute and talk about tell everybody about your wife, family, and all that good stuff, since I know that they're a big part of who you are, man. So let's go there and get into music.
So, I married a girl from Manguin. Been married for I don't even keep up with it anymore. I think 12 years. And I got a stepson that's 13, and Boyce is 13, and I got Lawson, who is 10. No, he's 9. I'm sorry, 9. And man, they're doing well, dude. I got a lovely family. I get to spend a little more time with them than I used to, and I've been enjoying that. We don't really play as many shows as we used to. We kind of cut back by choice, but having these weekends off has been pretty great, to be honest with you.
I love looking at the pictures, man. It looks like y'all are having a good time with the boys. So I love seeing that.
Oh yeah, man. We was on the bus might have been last weekend or the weekend before, and I was talking to my drummer Tritt, and he's like, man, it's like we play a show or two, like we'll have a busy weekend, and we look up and we got 2 weekends off. He's like, sometimes I don't know what to do with myself, but he's like, now it's like I kind of enjoy it. I said, man, me too. I've been enjoying them too, bro. To be honest with you, it's been a long time coming, but we've been enjoying some family time. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's one of those things that when you're running 100 miles an hour, it just becomes what it is. But then whenever you slow down and you look back, you're like, man, that's insane.
Exactly. How did we do that? Exactly.
Yeah, I'll tell you from experience, once you slow down, it's hard to get going again. So
yeah.
I feel in that one, man. It's pretty nice.
Exactly.
Man, right. I like the hat too, by the way. I love the hat.
Oh, thank you, bro. Thank you.
Heck yeah, dude. So man, if I'm not mistaken, man, you're actually from Centerville, right? Centerville,
Centerville,
Mississippi.
Mississippi. Yep,
Okay.
that's
Well,
exactly
that's
that's
go ahead, go ahead.
that's where I came up with the name Parish County Line because when I was young, my grandpa owned, I don't know, I can't remember how many. I think it was around 600 acres or something, and our property line was the actual state line. So the parish was on one side, county on the other side. So all the guys were from the Louisiana side, and I was the only one from Mississippi. So I come up with that name, Parish County Line.
Well, it served y'all well, man. It's pretty good, pretty easy one to remember too.
Oh yeah.
What was it? What was it like growing up in Centerville? I know you're right on the line, so it's Louisiana too. But growing up in a little small town like you did, and I guess what was life like, little Derek, coming up?
Uh, you know, we always had it good, man. You know, we grew up playing bluegrass music at a young age. Our daddy pushed it on us. Uh, we travel around playing in different churches, hit some bluegrass festivals up. Uh, my older brother, one of the most talented people that I know, he can play a banjo, a guitar, piano, drums. He can do it all. My little brother, he wasn't the showman type. Old Cody, he
Yeah,
wasn't he wasn't the showman type. He didn't like to be in front of people, and I just kind of got used to it. And I never we just grew up. We grew up going to school and grew up on 600 acres, right? I mean, there ain't really much I can tell you about it. We didn't really do too much. We played baseball. We grew up playing baseball all our lives and got burnt out on that by the time I was in high school. And, uh, you know, just then I really started getting into music when I got into college. But yeah, man, we lived the simple life, the simple country life. That's ain't nothing
yeah.
wrong with.
I got to see old Cody, man. Whenever I saw you at the Texas Club at that show a little while back, man, I hadn't seen him in years.
Man, you probably see him more than I do, and he lives in Baton Rouge.
So you mentioned bluegrass and stuff. Was country was country music something that was playing in your house, or was it more like gospel and bluegrass?
Well, yeah, no, I grew up in a real religious home, and which I'm very thankful for. And so we didn't really, we didn't really get to listen to too much country music. So it was more bluegrass and gospel. We had to, if we had to listen to a country album or a rock album or something like that, we had to sneak it. One of them things, man. I'd be cutting grass. I'd be listening to some Vince Gill. I didn't know. But anyway, I really didn't really grow up on country music that much. More bluegrass style stuff. And then
Yeah,
when I got in high school and stuff like that, I started listening to country and fell in love with the old tradition stuff and then played in joined a rock band in junior college, and that's when I really started playing. Besides, the church scene and the bluegrass festivals and stuff like that, that's when I really started playing live music, and it's kind of where it all got started. Been gigging ever since.
a rock band. I don't think I knew that, dude.
Oh yeah, man. We played that traditional stuff like Creed and Nickelback and Fuel and stuff like that, and met some of my best friends that still today, that I still hang out and talk to, and love those guys to death. And some of my best friends I met in college, man.
Nice, man. We got a comment right here. Olivia says, "Bring the Texas Club. Bring the bluegrass.
Bring
June
bluegrass
20th.
to the Texas. Man, that's
Bring the
very
bluegrass."
that's very tempting. I got some people I can call to get some bluegrass pickers up there.
Oh man. So your dad played, your brother played. So almost sounds like your whole family played, almost like a
Yeah,
little
pretty
family
much,
band.
man. I mean, we would go, Ronnie, we would go on vacation to Branson, Missouri and Silver Dollar City. And we would, how they have the shows on the stage, like by the rides and stuff like that. And we would see these families up there picking and we would just, our jaws would just drop and we're like, that's what we want to do, that's what we want to do. And our daddy pushed it on us, and he played the upright bass, and I played guitar and sang and my mom sang, and my older brother Justin played. His first original instrument was the mandolin, and he can pick the fire out of that thing. And we bought Cody a fiddle, but like you said, he never would learn it. But we had Mr. Brian Sims that used to play the banjo with us, and one of the best banjo pickers in the state of Louisiana. Unbelievable. And but we just had a good time, man. We traveled around and a little bit. You know, we wasn't really too heavy into it, but we did make some trips and get to play and sing and on some pretty big bluegrass festival stages.
Nice. We got Chris Pulver in here with the thumbs up. Thomas Kane said, "What up? What up, Thomas?"
What's up, Thomas?
David Fluker says, "Go, cuz." That must be
Oh,
your cuz.
oh, that is David Fluker. What's up, Dave?
I'm like, I don't think I met him at a family reunion yet, so that must be your cuz.
He's the cricket man. He's the cricket hatchery man over here in Port Allen, man. Doing big things, dude. Big things.
Yeah, no doubt, man. So do you remember what age you started playing? We'll move on in a second, but do you remember what age you started playing and singing?
Man, I believe it was about, I want to say I was like 9 or 10 years old when I picked up a guitar, and probably as soon as my fingers got big enough, you know, Daddy just gave us a book and showed us how to play the chord, and he would make us strum it one time and until we got it clean, and then show us another one, and then he would tell us to strum one time and then strum one time and then swap the chord until our chords were all clear, and we just kind of picked it up from there and rolled. And we practiced a lot, and we used to have a guy named Mr. David Collier. He would come over on Monday nights. I remember this. He would come over on Monday nights when we were kids, and he would show up on his Honda Gold Wing motorcycle with his guitar strapped to the back of it, and he'd bring us a gallon of Bluebell ice cream, and we would sit in our living room on Monday nights and pick for a long time and sing all kind of songs. That was some good memories in my life.
That's awesome, man. I'll just come over for the ice cream.
Yeah. I need to get off the ice cream, Lou.
I do too. Man, I didn't really even have this plan to ask, but I think I am, since we got a couple of musicians on here. And one of the things that I've noticed from the outside looking in, man, is that the Baton Rouge community, and I'm sure it's not perfect, but the Baton Rouge artist community seems to do a really good job of supporting each other and kind of lifting each other up. And for that, I think the Baton Rouge music scene is doing a little better than a lot of other scenes. What do you number one, do you agree that people will kind of tend to support each other and work together?
Absolutely, man. I mean, whenever I'm playing, I to be honest with you, Ronnie, I feel bad about this, but I don't tend to get out as much as I used to. And because I was out so much on the weekends, like when I have a weekend off, I don't really want to go to Baton Rouge. To be honest with you, I want to sit at home or with the fam or have some buddies over and play simulator golf or whatever, But man, you never know who's going to pop up at your shows, man. Thomas Kane shows up a lot. Chase Tyler will show up every now and then. But yeah, dude, I mean, everybody wants to do good for everybody. Everybody wants to see everybody succeed. It's always been like that, I think, to be honest with you.
Yeah. It seems like that region's doing well though, man. It seems like even the fans there come out, and it's just something about that region that seems like there's some good synergy there right now. So I hope that everybody keeps that up and that we can spread that to other regions as well.
Well, there's so many good musicians, like it's not like you're going out, if you're going out to see a majority of the artists. I mean, they got so many people coming up that's just good, man. They're good. Like T. Kane's got a great voice. I love hearing him sing. Every time I get a chance to, I love to hear him sing. Chase Tyler, of course, he's got a heck of a voice. I mean, and some of the new ones coming up. Some of the new ones, Southland Band. The one thing about PCL is, and I always said this, that I always tried to give them, like, get them in the Texas club. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, it don't really matter. I don't really have, at this point in the game, I don't really care, like, who opens for us. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I want to try. I've been trying to give, like, people that deserve it, like, to get on that stage, and because, somebody done it for me. You know what I mean? And it's kind of like, before I don't know how much longer I'll be in the game, or when I'll decide to finally hang it up. But until then, I want to see those young guys that are hungry. Just give them a chance to get up there, bro. That's like, the Texas Club is such a iconic stage, and, like, to be able to put on there for your first time. Oh, we playing at the Texas Club. I mean, it's like a feeling like no other. And I remember it. I
Yeah.
remember that feeling, and so I try to pass that on a little bit, if I, when I can. And I know I've promised some people out there listen, and I've told somebody I was going to probably get them on there. I might have forgot. I'm sorry. I don't have a good I don't have a good memory, and if I keep playing there, I promise I'll get. Because I mean, you got to get a chance to come on. I remember the first time, I was talking to Mr. Mark Rogers, and he said, Derek, I can't remember how he put this, but he said, Derek, you ready? We need to book you a headliner show here. And I was like, Mr. Mark, I don't think I'm ready for that. He looked at me and he goes, if I'm asking you, you're ready. And I was like, yes, sir. So that's kind of how that conversation went. So I just, he gave me the opportunity, and very thankful and very blessed, and just kind of took it on from there, man. Played a many shows in that place, and hopefully many more to come.
Yeah, it's nice to have somebody like that to believe in you, huh?
Oh, I love Mark and Mike Rogers to death. I try to play golf with them once a week, and sometimes I don't get to, but we keep in touch a lot.
Yeah. Well, man, I can remember you from way back before the PCL days and all that stuff. And me and you would, and our boy Charlie and several others, a whole group of us, and sit on that back patio at walk-ons and have too many beers and all that good stuff.
Oh yeah,
Um,
man.
so if I remember correctly, you were just were you doing like solo gigs then?
Well, man, let me. How I got plugged into the Baton Rouge music scene is I played somewhere, and my friend Erica Marler, she said, I want to introduce you to somebody. He plays at walk-ons, he plays acoustic music, and said, so he said, so she introduced me to a good friend of mine named Scotty Van Matry, and Scotty used to run Baton Rouge Beverage. You remember Scotty?
Yeah,
Scotty lives in Birmingham now.
always buying them shots.
So those Thursday nights on that patio, man, that was some good times, man. Me and Scotty would sit there and play like 6 hours straight. My fingers would be bleeding, and what little bit of lead guitar I know, Scotty would make me do it all. So I'm sitting there bending acoustic guitar strings all night long, and my fingers are just steadily bleeding. But man, we had some good times. And so Scotty, whenever Scotty ended up moving, and I in 2012 is when I had that idea to form Parish County Line. And by that time, so I've been playing in all those joints, Fred's and Tigerland, Bogies, walk-ons, and so I got to meet all those owners. Well, when I started that band, I just went to them and said, hey, look, this is what I'm doing. Will you give me an opportunity? And every one of them was like, absolutely, So that's kind of how we got plugged into playing all around Baton Rouge.
What do you think that you learned kind of grinding it out with those shows, with those solo shows, those shows with Scotty and all of that? What do you think that you learned during that period of your career that kind of prepared you for some of the things that you guys would go on to do?
Uh, build relationships, really. You know, building friendships, relationships, and just having fun is basically what I learned. I mean, I didn't know if anything was going to come out of Parish County Line. I just wanted to play 90s country music and have a good time, and just had the opportunity and the places to do it, and it just all fell into place, man.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess let's talk about Parish County Line, man. just kind of how let's start with just the origin of it and kind of how it came to be. It was who was the original conversations and all that.
Well, I was playing at Walk-Ons one night, and I got to talking to a guy named Travis Hood. You know Travis Hood? So I got to talking to him, and I had been wanting to do it, man. I was trying to find some musicians, and I told Travis, I was talking to him, and I was like, well, yeah, man, I'm trying to start this 90s country band. I think we were actually on break or something. And so I said, I found a drummer. His name is Riley Barnado. And he looked at me and he goes, well, that's my first cousin. And I was like, really? He said, yeah. He said, me and Riley used to play in church together. And I was like, well, I looked at him. I said, well, can you play? Because I was on guitar. I said, can you play bass? I said, can you play bass? He's like, well, he said, I played a couple times in church. He said, but I can give it a shot. And so that's kind of how that got started, to be honest with you. I remember our first gig was a 3-piece, and my buddy Cody Carroll over there at Hot Tails, when he first opened Hot Tails in New Roads. And I think that was our first gig. And I remember it like it was yesterday, honestly. And then when we were at that gig, we had Ross's mom and dad were there. And they come up to us, it's like, are y'all looking for a lead guitar player? And I was like, yes, we are. We're looking for one. And so he's like, well, they was like, and Ross was still in college, you know, he was young when he joined. And and so he came over at the time. I was hosting, it was at Happy's on Coursey. I don't think it's there anymore. I was hosting an open mic night on Wednesday, and nobody would show up to play. So I would just play, and then I started using it as a band practice, really. And so it was 3 of us, and then Ross showed up one night and started playing with us, and then we got to practice. And then Travis's brother graduated dental school, and we played for his graduation party at a crawfish ball, and that was Ross's first gig with us that time, and that's kind of how it got plugged in. So then it became a 4-piece, and then we added. Riley moved to. This has been years back, yeah.
I know. I'm enjoying hearing this because I'm remembering all of it.
I'm having to think back a long time, dude. Riley ended up having to move. He got a job somewhere else, or his wife was going to med school in New York or something, and he ended up having to leave. And that's when Trent Cha-Cha came, and he was the first drummer we interviewed. And we gave him 2 songs, and I don't know how long he practiced those songs, but he came in and he nailed them, and we was like, hired. You know, that's just how we were. Hey, bro, you're hired. You know. So then we went. So he started playing with us for a while, and then we added that steel guitar, and with Zach, and Zach played with us for, you know, a good while until he moved up north. And that's just kind of how, you know, it kind of got formed, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I guess Travis he's never lacked for confidence. So when you pitched the idea to him, he was probably like, man, we could do it.
Oh yeah. 100%. He was going to give it hell trying. I promise you that.
I've never heard Travis say, man, I don't think I can do that.
Nah, no.
Man. So whenever you guys started out primarily built around covers that you just kind of grew up loving, kind of playing 90s country and stuff like that. And that's really popular and really cool today, but back then it wasn't as much of that. You know, it was kind of a unique idea back then. So was there ever any pushback from the venues or anything like that they thought people might not respond?
Absolutely not. No pushback, man. Everybody, I think it was just like you said, it really wasn't anybody doing it at the time, you know. I mean, a few people here and there, but like just pushing that that genre real hard. That '90s. That's what we grew up listening to. You know what I mean? Like when it was good. '90s country music was good. Really good. I mean, for a while there, I got into the whole outlaw. I mean, the whole outlaw country. Kendall Schaefer's one of my. He's a great outlaw country music singer, and I don't have the voice for it. That's why I don't do a lot of them. You know what I mean? I don't have that. I don't have that deep voice that would like they can do it. But I love that stuff, man. That's all I listen to. That's all
Yeah.
my state. Well, right now my Pandora when I'm playing golf in here stays on Zach Top Radio, which all that stuff I'm talking about comes on that. So I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah. It seems like you guys, man, from my recollection, it seems like you guys hit like that, man. I mean, it seems like it was almost immediate. I don't remember y'all going out and struggling and playing in front of 3 people or something. It's like you guys presented this '90s country, and everybody was like, "Oh crap,
Well,
we're in."
I think like you said, I mean, it wasn't too many people doing it, and there was kind of like a hunger for it, maybe. But also the venues that we were playing were pretty much, had them, you playing at Fred's or Bogey's on a football game night. I mean, you got a crowd, dude. Like, I mean, it's packed to the walls, And now they got so much stuff. Fred's owns they got the whole parking lot covered in a concert. You know what I'm saying? But I think it was a hunger for that kind of stuff. And even today, like we still play. I'll tell you an example. We just played it not too long ago. We've been playing the FIMU spring crawfish ball. They call it the red, white, and mu. And I'm gonna tell you, till this day, I keep telling them. I said, if y'all keep hiring us, y'all gonna have to come get me out of the nursing home to come play this thing. But they keep hiring us back, But it's because those kids love that music, man. It's like it's not dying. I don't
Yeah,
think it's dying.
you would think that as they graduated and moved on, the next generation wouldn't care, but
Oh,
they keep
oh,
loving it.
dude, it's like we've watched. It's funny because like we let the seniors get on stage and sing the last song with us. It's like a tradition every year. We've been doing that show for like 10 years, and I keep the freshmen will come through and they've seen us. They're freshman, sophomore, junior, and then they get up there, and like then the next ones come through, and it's like and they all crying and stuff like that. It's just a great show, man. I love doing it. I hope I can do it as long as I can.
That's awesome, man. I I read somewhere, and again, I'll say this every week because I try to research and stuff, and even though me and you are buddies, I still try to go in and look some stuff up. But who knows if the internet's right or wrong sometimes. But I saw that there was somewhere that you talked about when George Jones died in 2013, the band played "He Stopped Loving Her Today" to a room full of college kids, and every single one of them sang along. Is that?
I think that I did. Yeah, I remember that, and I remember I want to say Travis Hood. I said, man, should we? I want to play "He Stopped Loving Her Today," and Travis looked at me and he goes, "If you don't do it, I'm gonna be mad." So we just broke out into it, man. And he did die that day, and I think I teared up during that song
Yeah,
at that time because George was one of my. I mean, during my college years, George was one of my go-tos, man. He was my mama bought. I remember my mama bought me that album with like 3 CDs in it, or it might have been 2. That was it was a hit all the way from like 1950 to back then was like 2005 or something like that. But anyway, I used to sit on my balcony in college and just listen to that album over and over and over and over. So George meant a lot to me. And that day he died, I think we was playing bogeys and we broke out and "He Stopped Loving Her Today," and the whole bar was just singing it and I was like, it was an awesome moment.
yeah. If you can get a whole group of college kids to sing "He Stopped Loving Her Today" while they're out partying, then that's
Yeah.
good music right there.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Uh, um, man, like we talked about with every band, there's different versions that come along. People come, people go. You talked about, people having to move and all of that. And we don't have to stay on this long, but I'm just curious, from your perspective, how do you keep that continuity going and stay true to like what Parish County Line is, you know, um, as people kind of come and go over the years? Because you're going to have that in a band. And I'm kind of asking this for up and comers and stuff. How have you stayed true to what you do?
Well, I guess it's because like it's established and like so they kind of know what they're getting into when they come. We for a while there we had the same crew, and then some people we've had two retire and one left us and went to another band and they're doing well. The retired ones are doing well, and the people that went to another band are doing well, and the guys that's joined us are doing well. Everything worked out. Everything's going good. And I don't know
So
if you wanted to jump into who's on what later on, or what did you want to do with that?
I was really just, I guess you kind of gave me the answer that I was looking for was, I guess because sometimes people come into bands and they've got their own ideas. They're like, man, we need to do this. We need to do that. But I guess you kind of answered it because you guys are established. So I guess anybody that comes in is not going to be like, I've got an idea. We need to change the show up or whatever.
Well, no, we
I guess,
always welcome ideas. I promise you that, because we've been playing so long together, we're running out of them. But we always welcome ideas, man. We ain't ever gonna turn an idea down, even if it's a bad one. We'll listen to it. But yeah, man. I mean, I'm always up for new things, and I just texted the guys about the upcoming Texas Club show today, and talking about we need to get ready, start getting ready for it, and rehearsing. And I'd like to rehearse a little more than we do, but with all the family and kids and stuff, it's kind of hard. Uh,
yeah, no doubt.
and we got a
Um,
guitar player that don't have a driver's license yet, so
and it's because he's young, not because he drank too much.
yeah, that's right. Because he's too young to have one.
there's some people running around that are the other way too. So we got to
Yeah,
clean that up. Man, um, to in the I know you might forget somebody and all that. So sometimes I hate even asking these questions because I hate to forget people. But who are some of outside of your band and stuff like that? Who are some of the musicians around Baton Rouge and in that area? Whether they're singers or just players or whatever that you've really kind of looked up to over the years. People who are just really great at what they do.
man, I really didn't like. So I kind of just like jumped into the music scene in Baton Rouge. So I wasn't like out going around listening to all these guys for years. I
Yeah.
knew of some people. You know, uh, Chris LeBlanc was one of them. I was always thought, Chris LeBlanc, dude, just a monster
Killer.
on guitar, just a happy-go-lucky guy. Like if you ever want to be somebody, be like Chris LeBlanc, because he's gonna tell you he loves you. You know,
He
I
is
really
one of your
just didn't.
favorite
I
players.
really didn't. That answer to that question is gonna be kind of short, because I really didn't know anybody to say I looked up to anybody that much. I just kind of jumped in and did it. Uh, when I got established and got to knowing people, yeah, then that musician wise, I remember when Seth was playing with Todd O'Neill, and I was like, man, I would love to have Seth, and then the opportunity came up, and like I look up to Seth. He's just a monster on guitar, you know what I mean? He can do anything. Like he's just an incredible musician. He can't sing very well, but he's an incredible musician, man. What he does with his instrument is mind blowing sometimes, and even J, JD White's one of the best flat pickers around here, dude. Like, I remember when JD used to, I don't know whether it was during quarantine or COVID or what, JD used to post these videos of these bluegrass. I don't know if you remember that, but he would film himself, and he would have three things that would all be him, and he'd be picking a guitar, and then he'd play the banjo, and then just shred a mandolin. Incredible. And then I was talking to JD. JD's filled in for us a couple times, and he would tell us that his mom was better than him. I was like, God dang. But yeah, I mean, there's a
That's
lot of
funny.
people I look up to. They might not know it, but I do.
Yeah. Um, and we've touched on it a little bit, but man, just real quickly, man, what do you think it means to Baton Rouge to have a venue like the Texas Club, man? Because it's not every city's got those guys. What do you think what do you think that those guys have done for the music scene? Obviously, they've done it for way bigger than Baton Rouge, but for that local scene.
Dude, you know, I know they've always, I know they've always done stuff for local musicians, but when in the past 15 years, they really stepped up and like got the local guys in there. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And gave us a chance. Uh, and I tell them all the time, man. Thank you. You know, I hang out, like I said, I hang out with them a pretty good bit when we play golf together. But you know, just to be around them, and they just so humble, and they want to see people do good, and you know, they want to see the club packed, and you know, but we are very blessed to have that iconic venue, the world, they call it the world famous Texas Club, and you know, I get musicians like from Shreveport, like the bands I met, like, man, we need to get down there to the Texas Club. We need to get down there to the Texas Club. I was like, man, I can only do so much. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's just a great place to play, man. The crowd's energetic. You know, they don't really open. I don't think they open for like clubbing anymore like they used to. So if there's not a show, they're not open. And I honestly think that helped it a lot. But I mean, I could be wrong. I don't know about the financial part, but like, you know, going in there, it's just a great place now to go in there and watch a concert. And then, you know, when the concert's over, everybody go home, you know. Just a great time. Great time.
Yeah, and it seems like I'm sure they have their issues and stuff, but I mean, it seems like they run a pretty tight ship over there, man. I never feel like I'm gonna be in the middle of a bunch of crap when I go in. I'm like, these guys are gonna handle whatever happens, you know.
Oh, dude, they got it figured out to the T, you know, over there. And you know, you never know what's gonna happen when you get people drinking and crowds in there. But I mean, sure stuff happens that they're not expecting. But you know, they got it to the T. Oh, Big John, the security guy, he got it.
Yeah. Well, man, we talked about PCL and you guys playing a lot of '90s country and stuff, but you've also got quite a few EPs out of original music and stuff like that. I think the first one was the self-titled Parish County Line, if I'm not mistaken, and then you put out I think two more since then and some singles.
Yep.
What's that experience like of for you guys of writing and getting in the studio and all that kind of stuff?
Man, it was challenging for me. Really, I'm not that great of a writer, to be honest with you, and I really don't. I mean, just with being honest, I really don't like doing it that much. You know, it really don't. It really don't come natural to me. But I try. You know, I try. I've been kind of itching to maybe start doing it a little bit more, and get back in. Maybe get back in the studio one more time. But I mean, it was a great experience. And I'm gonna tell you, somebody who made it a great experience for us was CJ Solar, and helped us out tremendously, man. CJ got all the greatest musicians in Nashville, and you know, some of the best pickers, and I got to sit in the studio while Paul Franklin is talking to me right beside me, talking about his gig he's got to play with Vince that night, and I'm like, you know, it was just kind of surreal to me at the time, and you know, it was just a great experience just to see all that and how they do that, and like they hear this song and then they sit there and they got these little tablets and they write down. They're like 5, 4, 3, 1, 10. I think we need to go blah 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 here, and they like, all right, let's go, and they all go in there and they just boom, they just lay it down, and it's unbelievable. And when what comes out, and we just sitting in the back going like when our jaws drop, you know, incredible experience. I hope I get to do it at least one more time.
They don't waste a lot of time, do they?
No, not at all. They don't waste a lot of time, especially when you got about. I remember one time. I mean, the first time we went up to Nashville, I think we did 5 songs, and I want to say it was I don't know. It might have been And no, it was a 3 hour session. we tracked 5 songs in a 3 hour session, I think it was. And the next time, I think CJ's like, man, I think we need to book 2 sessions this time. And I was like, oh yeah, that sounds good. So I actually tracked two of the. So I got to split the songs up, as far as like tracking the vocals, so it wouldn't kill me. And I think one of the albums when we went up there, I think I actually had like a sinus infection or something. So it probably sounded like crap. But I tried my best. But the studio guy made me sound as good as he possibly could, probably.
Well, I know you that you're being humble as a writer and everything, but I was even listening to some of them earlier today while I was just prepping for the show and everything. And there's some good songs on there, man. You guys did a good job.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. I think the only one that we ever tracked that wasn't ours. I think CJ pitched us a song was the Bud Light song, and the rest of them, I wrote majority of them, but then we would get in a bus and I was like, my guys, I need some help on this. Blah blah blah. What do y'all think? I remember one of them we finished. I think it was Heartache, Fix a Heartache. I think we were in Miami playing for the Super Bowl down there for a big, huge party that they were having down there. And we were sitting on the balcony, and I remember we finished that song up on the balcony that night. And just kind of cool stories, that stuff that we done.
Yeah.
Sometimes I forget about those cool little stories.
Yeah, dude, that's one of those. The song better be damn good if it's better than the story. Because writing a song on the balcony is a hell of a story.
That's right. I mean, just like you could talk to any band, and they'll tell you the hardest thing about transitioning from cover music to original music is getting people to, pay attention and listen to it. And I think that's the one thing we was always worried about. Some of us more than others, and just getting the guys to play it was a little bit hard. To play the songs, you gotta have that mentality. Like, I don't care if they're gonna listen to it or not, we're gonna play it. You know what I mean? And just kind of shove it down their throat. And I think we should have done a little more than that. But we play on a good show. We'll play about, I don't know, 6 or 7 of them, 6 or 7 originals. But I would love.
I don't know if they're gonna listen, but they're gonna hear it.
Yeah, exactly. That's the way you got to be. That's the way you got to be if you want to play them.
Well, and I'm not going to keep you a whole lot longer, man, but you shared the stage with some of the biggest artists in country music, man. I mean, many, many times, guy. I mean, you guys have had unbelievable success and fortune in that regard. Did you ever think when you guys were starting out that you would have even close to as many of those cool opportunities as you've had?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not, man. Just grateful for every one of them. We could talk a lot about some of the stories that we ran into when we opened for Mark Chestnut one time. Mark said a funny, and the first time I think we ever really got to do something big was when we played down there when Kevin Windham used to have those big parties at Party in the Pasture. You remember them? Yeah. And he had Travis Tritt that one year, and we got to open for Travis. I think that was our first probably big name that we got to do something like that, bro. You talk about ecstatic. Oh man, we opening for Travis Tritt. You're opening for Travis Tritt. Nervous as all get out. But it was so cold, your teeth were chattering anyway. That north wind was blowing like 25, 30 miles an hour that night. So it was brutal. I was
thinking my brain was doing something with weather when you were saying that. I was like,
yeah,
some weather that night.
It was brutal. Yeah. And Trent Cha-Cha had cut off jean shorts and a Dale Earnhardt tank top on, I think, behind on the drums back there. I don't know how he did it. I was about to freeze.
Your brother's jumping in. He said Craig Morgan was first. LOL.
Oh yeah, that was right. But that was you tell Cody that was not with Parish County Line. That was with another band.
Okay. Cody coming in here trying to correct you there. Coming in trying to clown on you. Oh man. So who are some national artists that you've had the opportunity to spend some time with who have kind of made an impact on you? Not only from music, but even as you become friends with some of these guys.
Tracy Lawrence is one of them. I got to hang out with Tracy a pretty good bit. Uh, you know, I can't do it. It's been quite a few of them. But I think Tracy stands out. You know, we were supposed to go play golf or something, and then we ended up going to I think the weather was bad, so we ended up going Top Golf or something like that. I got to spend a lot of time with Tracy, and then the next time he would come in, we played those back-to-back shows when we did he sold them out one, and then we added another, kind of wanted to add another kind of things, and so we did it with him, and you know, so we kind of got to really know him really well. So when he pulled up the next time, he's like, Derek, come look at my new bus, man. Like, kind of like that kind of thing. I thought that was pretty cool, you know. And we stayed on there. And then we played with him, I think, at Lamar Dixon. I was another time we played with him, you know. Just a nice guy, man. Just a country boy, you know.
Yeah, he. Matter of fact, y'all were opening because I know his fiddle player Joe, and I remember. Yeah. I remember hanging out with Joe at the Texas Club. Now that you're saying that, and you guys were playing with Tracy then, I believe.
That's right. That's right. Joe's a big bow hunter, isn't he?
He is.
Yeah,
he is.
Big bow hunter. Yeah,
he can play the heck out of that fiddle too.
Oh, I know. I know. I think you was going to get him to track a fiddle part on something for us or something. You was going to talk to him for us or something like that. I remember talking to you about that.
Probably so, because he on that album that we did, that classic Trashy. He played fiddle, mandolin, and banjo on all of that.
That's right.
Yeah, he's a beast, man. I'll give him a call if you ever need him. But man, what are some of the moments, I guess, that some of the shows or some of the moments that you guys have played that like in the moment that you kind of looked around and was like, this is pretty damn cool right now?
But I mean, I would have to say Tiger Stadium. You know. Bayou Country Superfest, I would have to say that. You know, just being out on that catwalk in the middle of that, and just, you know, we obviously we were the first band, but you know, so the stands wasn't, they were getting filled up. They wasn't quite full, but just to see that bowl, bro, like around you, that was incredible. I think that would probably be the most one I'd have to say that stood out the most. You know, other than like touching stories to me, like, you know, seeing special needs kids or whatever, you know, walking the halls of the Children's Hospital singing Christmas carols, to me, beats Tiger Stadium, you know. But other than that, I would have to say, you know, the coolest experience would probably be Tiger Stadium.
Man, I've known you for a long time, man, and known a lot of musicians for a long time. And generally, there's one thing everybody's itching and can't wait to go to Nashville. With you, man, you've always had this. I've never known you as somebody who's just itching and dying to go to Nashville all the time and this and that. You've always had this piece about what you're doing and this happiness of joy with what you're doing. And what do you think that staying rooted in Louisiana, what do you think that is that makes you feel that peace?
Man, I kind of just always had the attitude of like, I'm not leaving everything that I got to try to chase something. And I said, if it comes, you know, good, but if it don't, I'm good with it. You know, I'm blessed. You know, to me, I'm blessed to wake up every day. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just the way I am. So, but you know, it kind of like, you know, I just never really had the desire to just pick up everything. And, you know, I had been, you know, making money and kind of started a family. You know, I was about to start a family. I think I met my wife about the same year that Parish County Line started. And I think that was a blessing in disguise in itself, you know. Because I don't know what would have happened if I wouldn't have. But I you know, I never did really want to just pack up and leave. I don't know. I said if something happens and the opportunity comes up, you know, I ain't gonna say I wouldn't have went, but if it didn't, then I was good with it. You know, I always had that attitude. I don't know why, but I guess I wasn't. Yeah. I guess I wasn't as hungry for it as some of the other musicians. I guess I don't know.
I I don't know if it's not as hungry. I think it's more just probably priorities, man. I mean, as far as like from what it sounds like, I mean, you just kind of knew what you wanted and you already had what you wanted. And my,
Yeah.
my buddy Blake Griffith up in North Louisiana, he went to Nashville. He's a great songwriter. He's had some cuts, and he went there, and one of the legends of the business pulled him to the side. And Blake's married, got kids, and we got this property. His family's got all this property, and they all live by each other. And the guy goes, "What are you doing, man?" And he goes, "Well, I'm trying to make it and this and that." He goes, "What do you've already made? You already have." He said, "People come here and bust their tail for 30 and 40 years to get what you have now."
Yeah,
He's like, "What do
exactly.
you?" And he goes, "Man, I never thought about it like that."
That's
But
kind of the way I thought of it, Ronnie. To be honest with you,
yeah,
you know,
that's what your story kind of reminded me of. Yeah.
yeah, I actually got a song that kind of talks about that I need to. I got about. I mean, it's about 90% done, and it's on the back burner in case I want to get back in the studio. But it actually talks about that. Talks about a man. I had a old farmer friend of mine named Nicky Rockford, and we were sitting around a fire one night, and he's like, "Man, what are you doing here, man?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, you ain't gonna make it here. You need to carry your butt up to Nashville. And I was like, man, I ain't worried about all that. I'm not worried about that. If Nashville wants me, I'll be right here in Baton Rouge. But I ain't trying to go, trying to drop everything I've worked for and everything I got to chase something that, really don't, it's not a life or death situation for me.
Yeah, no doubt, man. And it's tough business, and it's always grabbing. You grab it, and then it's gone. So,
Yeah,
um,
exactly
I,
right.
I like that though, man. I did want to touch on this while I got you on here though, because you got a very unique story that I think maybe a lot of people don't know, man, and maybe a lot of people don't even understand. But you lost a lot of your hearing a few years back. And I don't know if people even understand how important that is. I don't know if a lot of people know that. And then I don't know if they know how important that is when it comes to singing, man.
Well,
So
I got a
talk
joke
about
about it. I was like, man, y'all ever heard of a deaf singer? I'm the first one. Uh,
that.
but yeah, I mean, you want a little bit of background on how it happened?
Yeah, man. I think people will be curious to know
Well,
that story.
it was about. I think it was about. I would say about 8 or 9 years ago now. Around the 4th of July one year, I went offshore fishing and stayed out all night and come back home. We fished all night long, cleaned the fish. We came back home, and I started running fever. And I caught fever. I had 103 to 104 fever for 25, 26 days straight. And
Did I remember that?
yeah, I thought I was gonna die. I called my mom about day 15. I was like, I'm ready. I made peace with it. And so, so whenever that fever finally broke, and I think what happened was something got in my bloodstream, like some kind of bacteria or something like that. And I didn't know. No, they couldn't find out what it was. Man, they did spinal taps. They did everything. They drew blood like 5, 6, 7 times, and they couldn't ever find out what was wrong with me. And fever finally broke. And when that fever broke, so the way they explained it to me is like when you have fever that high for so long, it's going to attack something in your body, and it attacked my hearing, and it left me with severe tinnitus, like that's all I hear, whee, all day long, all night long. So I had to really just had to learn how to live with it because there's nothing they can do for it. And I remember being practicing in Ross's house when he lived in Baton Rouge, and me and Travis Hood got there a little early, and I'd get off of work and I'd go straight to his house and we'd practice band practice. And Travis looked at me and goes, "Man, you can't hear nothing." And I said, "I know, dude." And that's when I started going like to get checked out, and that's when I kind of realized like, hey, look, something's wrong with me. So you know, and to be able to hear and be a singer is very important. So make a long story short, thousands and thousands of dollars later, between the best of the best in-ear monitors and people helping me out like Marvin Simon over there at Deep South Production and giving me the best of the best equipment, and I'm able to still do it. As soon as I pop out the in-ear monitor, I got to put them hearing aids in so I can talk to the people on side stage. But it's been a challenge, but it is what it is. It could have been worse.
Yeah.
Could have been
So,
worse.
I mean, I'm kind of blown away, man, because you still sound great, and I'm like, man, I cannot believe he still sounds as good as he does and can't hear. That's crazy.
Well, I don't know if I'm actually damaging it more, because I know my stuff's loud in there, but if I can go down singing, and I sing till I can't hear no more, I guess. And then I'll just sit on a dish bank every day and fish over here in Rama, I don't have to worry about nothing else. Pretty nice
Oh
too,
man.
because when the old lady gets to griping, I just pull them out and it's over. I can't hear nothing.
Well, we got one. I got one more question for you, man, and then I want to mention the Jambalaya Festival after that, and then we'll get out of here, man. I
Okay.
don't want to keep you all night, but can't get out of here without talking about somebody who I know meant a lot to you, and somebody who cared as much about local artists as anybody has in a long time, man. Uh, Talk about the contributions of to local music of James Gilmore.
Oh yeah, man. James was remarkable with us, dude. He's the one that gave us a chance on the radio, and he's the one that pushed that local country thing on the Sundays. Giving the local country music an order on an hour to get their stuff played. That was never heard of, and James started that, and I think they still do it. And it's just a blessing, man, to see him what he went through, dude. I walked the halls in the Children's Hospital, and James was Santa Claus. He made the best of everything, dude. Like he grew that big long beard, that big long white beard, and when he started taking that chemo, it started getting white and white and white. So he just took it and ran to Santa Claus with it until he couldn't walk no more. I remember the last year he did it with us. He got to the point where he'd have to stop, but he still pushed through, and to see that was unreal, man. He had a big heart.
He was a sweet guy, man.
Yeah, he was.
I've never even shared this with very many people, man, but he saw when he was in the hospital just a few days before he passed. He called me because he had seen some work that I was doing with kids with special needs, and he called
Yeah.
me, and his voice was fragile and everything, and he just told me, he was like, "I'm proud of you." And man, that meant I was like, man, this guy's sitting here in the shape he's in and wanting to tell me that he's proud of me. And I'm
That's
like,
the
what
way
a
he,
guy.
that's
That's
the
how
way he was, bro.
I got my arm, I got my
I
chill
know.
bump.
That's the
That's
way he
how
was.
I'll always remember that guy.
Yeah. Incredible,
Yeah.
incredible human being, man.
Yeah. So anytime I have anybody on that dealt with James, I always like to talk about him for a minute to keep that legacy going for him, man. He
Oh yeah,
deserves it.
he still got his table reserved every Texas Club show.
He sure does, man.
That's right.
Well, man, I will be. I do want to plug this because I'll be with you guys on Friday, March the 22nd at the Jambalaya Festival in Gonzales, and I'm really looking forward to that one. And it's like I said earlier, it's one of my favorite festivals in the state. And in case anybody's been living under a rock and they maybe haven't ever seen you guys play, what can they expect when they come out to the show at the Jambalaya Festival?
Man, we got some young blood. I'm excited. We Bryce Pasterchick's been playing guitar with us when he's not playing with Clay, and with his style and Chris Bro, Chris Bro in the six string rodeo,
Mm-hmm.
a band out of Lafayette, and he's got Huck is his name, Huck Bro, and he's 16 years old and can shred a guitar. He takes his daddy. He takes all his daddy's. I pick on. He takes all his daddy's licks and he makes them better. So yeah, but we kind of it's kind of a joke. Like we'd be on stage sometimes, and if we play like a fair festival, like yeah, we had to stop and pick Huck up at the daycare over there in Lafayette. But he don't mind, man. He's a good kid. Got a big heart and plays the guitar. Real particular about his sound. Just shreds. He's an incredible player, and he ain't gonna get nothing but better. So That's what I'm most excited for you to see that young man pick that guitar like he does.
Yeah, you've told me about him a few times. I can't wait to hear him play, man. I'm looking forward to that. So, if you're out there, if you missed this part earlier, start following us at Louisiana Country Music on our socials tomorrow, because for the next week we're going to be giving away several pairs of weekend passes to the Jambalaya Festival. So I'll be out there for 2 nights. Lauren Lee's playing on the other night. I think she's headlining that next night or the night before. I'm getting mixed up, but looking forward to getting out there, man. Anything we missing before we get out of here?
I don't think so, bro. We kind of covered it all, including my flaws.
Bro, you ain't got too many flaws.
You ain't seen my golf swing.
You ain't got as many flaws as this old guy, man. You ain't old enough to have this many flaws yet.
You are pretty old.
Oh man, yeah. All right, brother. Well, man, I appreciate you taking a little time with me tonight, man. And I hate to get you out of your golf game for an hour or so, but
no, it's all right. I thank you so much, dude. I'm glad I got opportunity to be on here.
Yeah, we'll get you back on, man, and I'm looking forward to it. I'll see you. I guess that's next week. I'll see you at the not this weekend, but next. So,
yeah, correct. Yep.
Sounds good, brother. Well, I will see you out there, man.
Take care, Ronnie.
All right, man. See you soon.
Bye-bye.
All right, later. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed the show tonight. I'm working everything behind the scenes tonight, so I might be a little clumsy here with the music and all that, but hope you guys enjoyed the show tonight. If so, like I say, join in every Tuesday night at 7:00, because we always have talented, interesting people with stories that you're like, wow, I bet a lot of you guys didn't know about Derek's hearing. So anyway, join us every Tuesday night. Please make sure to like, share, tell the world about Louisiana country music artists, and help us show the world what we've got here in Louisiana. Thank you guys for tuning in. God bless all of our Louisiana folks out there. Enjoy the rest of your week, and we'll see you next week right here on Louisiana Country Music Live.